because people need to hear that the medication doesn't have to be their band-aid, right? There are other choices. Needless to say, this patient listened and he was able to get off two of those medicines and was left with one. So the whole culture now for doctors that are learning the other side of medicine, which is to heal their body as food and lifestyle, they are equipping patients to take a look inside life habits, behaviors. How can we, transform that to heal the body? And it's phenomenal. And I'm hoping that this will continue to grow as we have more people like you, like me, speaking out. Doctors are shifting because they're not happy just prescribing a pill. They really are not.
Well, so did you hear that conversation I had with the chief medical officer at the orthopedic center?
Yeah.
First of all, how God chose him, no idea, right? I mean, that was clearly a God job, because I didn't know any doctors out here. I am new from, the Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
And I honestly just looked at profiles online and channeled, like, ask God, where do you want me to go?
Mhm.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
And I ended up with the chief medical officer, and he is spiritual, and he knows that what he's doing was not in alignment with his spirituality, and he knew he was poisoning our children, and he needed to be called on it. And one of the things that I didn't mention is the other part of the message. I said, by the way, I'm your first message, I don't know, and I'm hearing I said, if you don't do this, it's almost like you're going to get a spiritual 2x4
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
that is going to come hitting you if you don't make these changes,
Yes. Yes.
right? Because
Yes.
God's not willing to have people poison his children anymore.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, the scripture says he wants us to be in good health, even as our spirit is in good health, right? So he wants that whole person treatment. So as your spirit is in good health, your body, your mind, all of that is important. You can't separate it. So I'm glad that you spoke out. And that's what, when my patients tell me, oh, I'm sorry, I'm asking too many questions. I'm sorry, I'm asking for alternative. I'm like, that is what I want you to do. I want you to inquire. I don't want you to just sit back and just take anything that, your doctor prescribes to you. You want to be informed. Definitely.
So we're taught as kids, Dr. Babb, to be seen and not heard.
That's right. That's true.
That's damaging.
It is. It is.
So if we're told not to ask questions,
Mm.
how are we supposed to make an informed choice?
I know. Well, my guess is that's because the generation before us, that was just what they only know. They can only teach us what they know, right? What they knew. My mom would say kids are supposed to be seen and heard. That was what she knew. And you will be amazed. She has since mentioned, because coming from Nigeria, I'm originally from Nigeria, she's vacationed with us, and she sees my kids. My kids do not take anything sitting down. They question everything. So
Love it.
they question everything. And so my mom tells them kids are supposed to be seen, and they question her. But she has actually realized that we're doing a disjustice to that time where you tell people to be seen and not heard. So she's actually excellent with it now. She has mentioned to me, I apologize, I'm the oldest of four, and I heard that quite a bit. I apologize for any way I might have raised you. That was just the way I learned it. And she sees
Right.
it.
We don't want to make our parents wrong
We don't
for
want to
how
make
they
them
did these
upset.
things.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but people is changing now. They're speaking up. What they need to change though is talking to their doctor, of course, respectfully, but let them know another side. Let them understand the root cause. Let them see how they don't live in your body. They know yourself best. So that is what this message is. Please advocate for yourself. Ask the question. Do not be afraid. Your medical doctors, yes, have a training, but they don't know everything. They don't live in your body. You know yourself. Please ask questions. Do not be afraid. And if your doctor doesn't listen to you, that's not the right doctor for you. I say that loud and clear. I wouldn't want to go to a doctor that wouldn't listen to me and listen to my complaints. So I'm glad that
Absolutely. And
you.
I'm looking down here because we got some questions, and I can
Yes,
see who the
awesome,
person
very
is.
good.
So, Charles Key says, can you speak about integrative medicine and how the mind body connection is considered in treating disease?
Oh yes, great question. Thank you for that question. So when we talk about mind-body connection, oh, I love this. So
Me too. It's my favorite thing.
it's my favorite thing. And this is all additional training that I got and experiencing it that I can speak so boldly about it. So the mind, I mean, when we talk about the brain house, the gut, we actually call it the core house. That is where all these hormones and neurotransmitters are all created. They're all formed in there. But how do they get formed? They have to be formed with good bacteria. So we have a good bacteria, we have the bad bacteria, which we call the microbiome, right? So it's just a house of, bacteria. Initially, when I heard we have bacteria in the gut, I was like, what do you mean by that? But we have trillions, and they all have an assignment. So if you feed it
They have their marching orders, right?
Yeah, marching orders. If you feed it properly, it's just like in the field. If you have your soldiers and you feed them good food, then they're ready for battle. They will defend everyone. That's the same thing. So if we eat nourishing foods, right? So our plants, our legumes, our fruits, veggies, all those healthy things, the good bacteria is happy and it's ready to defend us. So we have things like serotonin, which is a good hormone that is created there. And with the brain, they're all connected. You feel good, you feel happy, so it's all connected. And then, of course, you have all the hormones, the insulin, all those things, they interconnect with the brain. So if your gut is happy, needless to say, your brain also will be happy. So it's not just putting the medication, because unfortunately the medications, when you put it, they're short-lived. They have side effects.
Well, they're actually disrupting your hormones, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Hormones aren't. Here's one of the things, it just like dawned on me that so when we are taking medication, the medication is, let's say, running the show, right? It's telling the hormones what to do, or telling some part of your body what to do, right? And then your body stops thinking on its own.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually training the body, and we're disempowering the body.
Yeah.
And then the body doesn't know how to do what it's supposed to innately know how to do. And so when you get off these medications, I'm not telling you to do that, just saying, but if you choose this, you also have to give your body time to relearn what it's innately supposed to do. And it takes time.
Yes. I mean, and that's why, to my point, it's really, I empower my patients. I tell them, if you have congestive heart failure, if you have renal stage disease, there is a place. Unfortunately, I hope that we wouldn't get there. That's why I'm more preventative. But if you are there, don't use the medication as your sole answer, because it will have side effects. With antidepressants, when they go into the GI, you stress something very important. It actually tells your body not to create serotonin. So you are disinhibiting your own natural serotonin, and after a while, it just doesn't even create any at all. So you can actually stimulate those good hormones, all those things that will make you feel good, whether it's your endorphins through exercise, whether it's your serotonin, your dopamine, all those things that you're relying on the medication. You can actually supply those if your body is nourished in the right way. So we need to be attentive to how long we're on medication and to get to the root cause. My analogy is, if the roof is leaking and you don't repair the roof, what happens? You just keep mopping the ground. It doesn't make any difference at all.